Today we're in our close reader on page 29, reading December 1776. And as you listen to me read this aloud, I want you to think about what you notice. How is this text different from the other texts that we have read in our close reader? So December 1776 by Constance Andrea Karamis. General George Washington knew good things had a price. The cost of a free nation was biting snow and ice. He and his soldiers shivered, trapped in their camp that year. But brave George gave his men hope and took away their fear. They rode across the Delaware. The general stood tall. He gave his men the courage to answer freedom's call. Okay, so hopefully you noticed that this text sounds a little different than the other ones that are written in paragraph form. And you may notice that the text even looks different in how it's organized on the page, right? It's kind of in a column rather than going all the way down the line. And let's look at our picture real quickly to help us clarify what it is that we're reading about. So this is a famous portrait of George Washington, just like the text told us. He's the one standing up in the boat with his leg up on the side. That's General George Washington. And they're rowing across the Delaware River. So that's the water that you see in there. And it says in our text, they rowed across the Delaware. And we know that it is winter because it tells us in the text that they were in the snow and the ice. And that is because this was during the war when America was trying to get their freedom. And they actually did a sneak attack on the British, and it was on Christmas. So they knew that they wouldn't be expecting them on Christmas. So this, that's just to give you a little bit of background. And obviously they did win because we are now free and not a part of the British Empire. So I hope you noticed that this is actually written as an end rhyme poem. And a poem has a rhythm to it, right? It has a beat to it, almost like a song. So if you listen again, it sounds like General George Washington knew good things had a price. The cost of a free nation was biting snow and ice. So notice how it has a rhythm to it, more so than it would if it were just a typical text. And then this also is a poem that has rhyme in it. Not all poems rhyme, many do, but not all do. And I have an example there for you of two of those end words that rhyme, price and ice. And one of your tasks today is going to be to underline the other pairs of rhyming words in the poem. And then you're also going to identify what's the main idea of this poem? What is it mostly about? So go ahead and go into your schoolwork app. I want you to read this text and try to read it with good rhythm.